Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bedtime Stories from the Cranston Public Library. Well, not from. Um, so, those of you who've joined us before have met Teddy before. There's been a little bit of controversy because the other stuffed animals have complained they haven't gotten equal face time. So, we've shared them in the shot tonight. Tonight's story is a brand new story that's just come into the library. It's called The Stars Just Up the Street. It's written by Sue Soltis, who lives in North Carolina, and it's illustrated by Christine Davenier, who lives in Paris. And I think it's a lovely story. Mabel loved the stars. She could count 5 from her window when it wasn't cloudy, and 19 from her backyard in a narrow patch of sky. Her grandfather loved to tell stories, and Mabel listened hardest to the parts about the night sky on the prairie where he grew up. Once, meteors fell there like rain. Sometimes the full moon rose so big, he said, it looked like another planet. And every night there were thousands of stars. A little too early tonight for stars, but soon. Thousands. Mabel knew something was wrong. She climbed the tallest tree out back. Even from up here, she called down to Grandpa, I only count 37. Well, Grandpa said, I think we can see more stars on the hill just up the street. The sky is wide there, and I bet it's darker. You know, the darker it is, the more stars you can see. They took a walk. The road wound up and up. At the top, Mabel started to count. Only 103, she said at last. Then she noticed all the lit up windows and porches. Maybe people could turn off their lights, she said. Maybe they would, Grandpa said. Let's ask them, Mabel said, and she took Grandpa's hand. They went door to door. It was a bit hard to explain, and a few people refused. I might bump into a wall. I don't want to step on my cat. I'd like to help, but how can I make dinner in the dark? Come outside with us, Mabel suggested, just for a bit. In the end, many of them did just that. It's been a long time since I went stargazing, someone said. Look, the Big Dipper, someone else shouted. You can see more stars, Mabel said, and she began to count. At 214, she suddenly stopped. The glow from a nearby streetlight blocked part of the sky. Grandpa, who can switch that off? She asked. Well, the town controls the streetlights, Grandpa said. The next day, Grandpa and Mabel visited the mayor at town hall. Now, I think it's great to ask the mayor something. You might not be able to see him the next day. The mayor told them, no, we keep safe, well-lit streets in this town, she said. Ah, said Mabel as they left town hall. I guess I can look at the stars from the tree. Maybe 37 is not so bad. But on the way home, they ran into the mail carrier and told him about their meeting with the mayor. He said, maybe I'll have a word with the mayor too. Then Mabel decided to tell everyone they saw. They talked to a lady walking her dog, a family on their way to the library, and a crowd of speedy bicycle riders stopped at a traffic light. Mabel got really good at getting to the point. You won't believe how many more stars we would see, she said. All through the day, the mayor received phone calls, emails, and even a few in-person visits. But her answer was always no. What about burglars, she said. Dark streets don't increase crime, said a police officer. What about people falling on dark paths, the mayor went on. Hand out flashlights, suggested a Parks and Recreation officer. There are town regulations, the mayor exclaimed. Meanwhile, back at home, Mabel thought about how she might convince the mayor. Night had already fallen when the mayor opened Mabel's email. When was the last time you saw thousands of stars? The mayor closed her eyes. Long ago, lying on a striped blanket, under the darkest of summer skies, she had tried to count them all. The mayor opened her eyes. Okay, she typed. Let's try it. Yay! On the next new moon, people arrived on the hill with dogs and blankets and snacks. They saw bright stars and dim stars, Venus and Mars, white stars, golden stars, and stars of the hottest blue. Look at all those stars. Now this is what I call stargazing, Grandpa said. How many up there, Mabel? But Mabel was looking around instead. There was quite a crowd, and a little down the way, the mayor sat on a striped blanket, gazing up at the sky. I haven't even started to count, Mabel told Grandpa. Look at everybody enjoying the stars. A tradition began that night. People gathered every new moon, because it's darkest on the new moon, bringing telescopes, binoculars, egg salad sandwiches, and strawberry pie. Each time, the sky was a little darker as lights outspread from street to street. Everyone saw meteor showers and the Milky Way, planets, constellations, and satellites. Mabel wondered if she would ever count them all, those stars just up the street. There were definitely thousands. So I hope you can do some star watching soon. It's a great way to spend the evening. And in the meantime, sweet dreams from the Cranston Public Library. Good night.